Okay, so a big hello to all of you, to this wonderful crowd from all over the world. So for those who are joining us and coming in now, I would love to see and to read where you're from and where you live. Yeah, so because many of our translators, they have a very exciting career. Can you all mute yourself? Oh, this is funny. This is funny. Okay. I mean, if you want something to say later on, we will definitely find a chance to. You can all unmute yourselves and speak. I will just go through all the participants and see that we don't have any disturbing noises. Oh, beautiful. We are 62 by now, which is really, really makes me happy. Yes. So why are we doing this? Why are we here? Well, you know, for me, it is quite an exciting game tonight because many of you, I think, have found your way here through an advert on Instagram or on Facebook. Yeah. So I think there might be many among you who don't actually know me. And I've been doing this for the 3rd year running now, but in the first 2 years, I did it within my own social media bubble. Yeah, I did it within my own LinkedIn bubble mainly, which means people who came to the webinar, they knew me. Yeah, and they knew they can trust me because they had read lots of stories about me and they had been taking part in my life for quite a while before they came here. But today I see some well-known names, some names who have been around with me for 2 or 3 years. And I see lots of new names, which is really exciting to me. And first of all, I want to thank all the new participants for your trust in me, for your trust in coming here, although you probably haven't heard much from me yet. Just a few posts maybe and some emails. I promise you the emails won't go on forever. Yeah, so this is part of online marketing. Yeah, so that you feed and nurture the people you want to talk to for a while, and then so don't worry, you won't get an email from me every day for the next 3 years, but maybe for the next 2 weeks, because this is what it's all about. Yes, and the reason why I've been doing this, I would like to tell you and share a little presentation with you today. Where are we? Can you see it yet? Just nod or don't, yeah? Here we go. Yes, there will be a Q&A at the end, yeah? So if you have any questions, just, I mean, you can write them in the chat, but I won't be checking the chat every 2 minutes. But I have some nice assistants around me who can help me if something really urgent is coming up. Well, why are we doing this? Because I have talked to so many translators in the past years, and I know that so many of you are actually struggling in one way or the other. Some of you are struggling to fill your days with work, yeah? Some are struggling with loneliness, yeah? On the one hand, they enjoy working from their home office and being on their own, but it can be quite lonesome from time to time. And it's always good to have a little boost of motivation here and there and to have a network of fellow people you can work with, yeah? Others are struggling with the kind of clients they work for, yeah? They, you know, we all started studying language because we love language and we love working with. We had a certain expectation of what kind of text we're going to get for translation, and then you end up with translating manuals or other kind of boring mechanical tables or stuff like that. Yeah, and so many of us do have clients, but maybe not their dream clients. Yeah, so we would have many better ways. There would be many different ways of the people, yeah, we work with or we work for. And I think all of us started out because, yeah, we love language, and because we have marvelous linguistic skills that we want to put to their best use. And then it's not very satisfying if you translate like a poster for a local restaurant, yeah, where you think, okay, this are about 100 people are going to read this, but what would my life be like if millions of people read the text I translated? Yeah. So some people, or some of us, they want to go bigger, yeah, and they think I am here for more, yeah. And then there are others who actually quite have to struggle to make a living from the translation skills they work so hard to acquire. Yeah. So I have talked to people who said all the friends I studied with, they all work for big companies now. Yeah. All those people who study business administration, for example, yeah, they drive a big car and they go to holiday several times a year. And as a translator, it's sometimes hard to do that. Yeah, because often enough, money is not enough. But there are ways out, yeah? And this is what we're going to talk about today. So if we face reality, yeah, low pay, endless work hours is often enough the harsh reality of translation today. And on top of that, AI has come into play. Many translators are worried if the machines are going to take away our work. I can tell you they are not, yeah, and we are going to talk about this a bit later on. But of course, it's a reason for many of you to be worried about the future. And then we try to soothe ourselves by saying, well, humans will never be replaced. It depends. It depends on what kind of jobs you do, yeah. And the simpler the tasks are, the more easily you can be replaced if you're only a translator, yeah. And what I want to show you today, that there are so many other things you can do with your skills, and you can always and still be a translator, but maybe change your thinking and your attitude a bit of what you actually offer your clients. So this is actually the big secret, the one secret lying beyond or underneath everything. So I promised you 10 secrets for today. Well, some of them are not so secret, but I hope that there are some gems in there for each one of you that you can make really good use of. Yeah. A few words about me. Yeah, I'm Sylva. And back in 2002, I started just where you are as a freelance translator. And pretty quickly, I grew my business into running my own agency. Today, I have 10 employees, full-time, fully employed here in Germany. So we're sitting in a beautiful office. And we actually work for 59 of the top 100 global brands. I'll talk about a bit more about this later. But being able to say this sentence, yeah, is the result of long thinking. Yeah, and I'm sure many of you can say something similar. Yeah, but you have to boil it down to this one catchy sentence that you can say to actually impress people. Yeah, and it has to be true. That's important as well. Yeah. So I can say that I broke free, and you can too. And the goal is for you to be not just surviving, but thriving. Yeah. So in this webinar, here I'm saying 90 minutes. In my emails, I wrote 93. This is just a little game. And I love playing around. Yeah, I can't promise you if it's going to be 93 or 97 or maybe 87. It doesn't matter. Yeah. We'll be sharing or spending about 90 minutes together. And I hope it's going to be entertaining 90 minutes for you. And also for those who are going to watch the recording. I will give everything into this time. And my goal is that after listening to all that this evening, you will be fully motivated and full of fire actually to go for it and to give it a big start and to say, yes, I can go for more. This is what I'm here for. Yeah, and to show you that it works. And I know that it works because I have actually been doing this for more than 20 years, but online for 3 years now. And in this time, I have helped over 300 translators conquer their career. And yes, you can hear from them in person. Some of them are here today. Yeah, later on, I will pass the voice over to them so that they can actually tell you what they have achieved in an amazingly short time of about 1 year or 2 years. It's really amazing how their business took off to a rocket start. Okay, yeah. So I want you to ditch the grind. I want you to say no to imposter syndrome, yeah? To get no more peanuts for pay and to make the most of your time, the most of your talent and your thriving business. And I want you to transform your passion into profit, yeah? Because this is what we all started for when we decided to become a translator. Yeah. So how can we do that? How can we go about this? First of all, I would like to share with you something nice I found on the internet. So this is not from me, but it's still, I think it wraps it up really nicely. The 5 different ways to make a mega living as a freelance translator. Yeah. So what is a mega living? For most of us, I mean, you've probably all read those adverts, and in my bubble, they are omnipresent. It's like a 6-digit income. Yeah, this is what everybody is dreaming of. Like make 100,000 euros a year. Yeah, so this is the big thing everybody's talking about, dreaming of, and it is possible also for translators. And this is quite a funny take at the whole thing. You can look. What's the category that's true for you? Yeah. So 5 ways to make a really good living as a freelance translator. First is go hell for leather. Yeah. Here we have Lightning Libby, who averages like 6,000 words a day and earns 6 figures because she does 6,000 words a day. Yeah, I mean, she has a rate of 7 cents per word only, which is very low, but she actually makes good for it by doing a big amount of words. Yeah, and I'm sure there are some of you among us who earn their money this way. The other way is to work like a dog. Yeah, to work really, really long hours. Yeah, work at night, work during the weekends, have no holidays. And if I'm honest, this is how I started as well. Yeah, so I hardly took time off for Christmas. I actually worked all the time. I made quite a lot of money, but I paid for that with my free time. Yeah, so this is, I think, the reality for many of us. Yeah, there are 2 other ways. You can cut on the costs as well. For example, by living somewhere really cheap. Yeah. So for example, if you just work like 7 hours a day for a rate per word for 10 cents per word, and you do like 2,500 words on average per day, you have an annual income of around 50,000, which is not really enough in Germany. But if you live somewhere on an island, yeah, that's well enough. Yeah. Or you can combine this and relax in paradise and say, okay, I live somewhere cheap, but I won't be working too much. Yeah. But I don't need much money. Yeah. So this is also a combination which some of us have chosen and have opted for. And if you succeed in raising your rates, like in this example, yeah, for the Relax in Paradise guy, he gets 18 cents per word. He doesn't have to work that much. He just does 1,700 words a day, works 5 hours per day, and he has quite a nice life on his island under the palm tree by the beach. Yeah, which is also a very cool option. Yeah, if you go for that. And then there is a 5th way, which is called Go for Gold. This is actually the version I have chosen. Yeah, I mean, I am sort of trapped between all 5. Yeah, I mean, I don't live somewhere really cheap. No, I'm sort of trapped between working a lot for low rates, but I am lucky enough to have a cool combination for the go for gold variety, which means you can raise your rates, yeah. And the secret here is actually that this usually does not work if you work for agencies, yeah. So the secret here is if you work for direct clients, you can easily ask for rates like 25 cents per word, 30 cents per word, which is absolutely realistic. So we charge this every time, but with our direct clients, yeah. I mean, agencies do this as well, and it's fair enough because it is their job to get the clients and to do all the administration. But if you have direct clients yourselves, then rates are open-ended. Yeah, it's up to you what you charge, because most direct clients have no idea what's the ordinary standard rate for a translation. And if you don't sell your service as a translation, but as a package and as a real benefit to your client, and maybe combine it with other services you can offer, then nobody ever will ask you for your rate per word. And this is actually, well, one of the biggest secrets, yeah, which I'm giving away right at the start. I mean, we will have a Q&A session at the end, because I can see and feel and know that many of you like think, no, is that true what she's saying? I have been doing this for 20 years now, and I know that it works. But many translators are quite like stuck in their way of, I'm a translator and I can't ask for more than 5 cents per word or 7 cents per word, depending on your language combination and the country you live in. But just imagine you were not tied to rates per word at all. Yeah. So this is actually where I want to get you to. Yeah. Yeah. So big question is, how do we do that? And I would actually like to tell you how it all started. I don't know if Chris is among us tonight. Chris, if you're here, just say hello. Because Chris was he was actually my big inspiration for the whole thing that's happening here right now. I know Chris Alexander, he's a translator. He's a Geordie in Girona, as he says. So he comes from Newcastle, I think. Laura, help me. He comes from Newcastle and he lives in Spain. So the classical translator career. And he posted this like 2 years ago. And it went like, I really liked the way he wrote it. So he wrote a question about clients. As someone who is still treading water in the translation profession, I really need to invest in some water wings. One thing I would dearly love is my own client base. I was hoping to have regular work from agencies by now who would have reacted as my security or my water wings, if you like, but that plan has yet to come to fruition. Okay. Yeah, and then he wrote like that his arms are beginning to get tired and that he's getting really, it's getting hard for him to survive in that pool of sharks, yeah. So not everybody is friendly, yeah, in this translation world. And I read this and I posted a little comment under his post and I said, let's have a chat, yeah. I've been in the industry for 20 years and I think I can tell you some good ideas of what you could do. And under that post that was 2 years ago, I got like, I don't know, 50 reactions, yeah? And people were saying, I want to be part of that as well. I want to join as well. And this is how our first translator roundtable started. And from that, I've done it again last year and now this year. And we have grown into a really nice community. So we have even founded our Happy Translators Club, where we are helping each other, yeah, to develop and to grow and to answer all those questions that freelance translators do have. Yeah. And yeah, because I know what it's like. Yeah, because I also come from the same position, but it's like I said, like more than 20 years ago now. So I remember the day really vividly. So it was the 12th of August in 2002. And I know this date exactly because it was the day of a big flood here in Germany. And I saw that little stream outside my window rising and rising and rising by the minute. And in that moment, I was sitting at my laptop back then, so I was pretty young, yeah, so 20 something. My first child was just born, and I watched the water rising, and I sent out a simple email to 600 translation agencies. I had found their addresses in a database. Those databases are still around today. So this is something all of you can do tomorrow or even tonight if you want to. Yeah. It was one simple email. It was basically saying, hi, I'm Sylva. I'm a translator. I love what I do. I translate from English into German, and send something along my way. Yeah. Now, most of you will say, hey, come on, I've done that 1,000 times and nothing happened. Most of the translators who say that and who I then talk to, they tell me things like, yeah, well, I'm sending out like 2 emails a week, and I spend about 3 hours researching beforehand what to write to that company. This is fine, this is great, but this is all a game of numbers. Yeah. So we're talking about online marketing here. So this is a typical case of email marketing, and you have rates, and they are always true. And if you send out 600 emails, you can be pretty sure that you will get 60 replies if you're good. Yeah. So no, well, 10% is really, really good. 10% is really, really good. Don't worry if you get, so the minimum rate is between 1% and 3%. Yeah. So saying if you send out 1,000 emails, you will always get like 10 to 30 answers, maybe 100, yeah, depending on what you write. So, but if you only send out 100 emails, maybe that 1%, that one answer would have been your 102nd email. You know what I mean? Yeah. So don't be afraid of big numbers if you do that. Yeah. So I sent out 600 emails, and I got about 100 replies. And within a month, yeah, 40 of them became my clients because I had a proper offer. Yeah. I didn't just say, contact me whenever you need a translation into German. I had an offer for them. And about 40 took this offer. And 20 years later, we still work with many of them. Yeah. Which is then about customer retention. Yeah. So this is another big gem of marketing. Winning a new client is always the hardest part. Yeah. Once you have got a client, it's much, much easier to keep them. Yeah. And this is what we're going to talk about now, or later on, just in 5 minutes time. Yeah. How to actually keep the clients after you've won them. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So today in our team, I said we are a team of 10. We are 10 in total, but as I told you before, we are not only a translation agency because I added additional services later on. So today we're a team of 3 translators and a project manager, and we have had that 6-figure turnover everybody's dreaming of solidly for the past 15 years from translation only. Yeah, plus advertising, plus. But I am the living proof that making 6-figure turnovers from translation is definitely possible. Yeah. So, and we are really fully booked every single day. So if I am telling you how to get you fully booked by summer, I really mean it, because so often, my mother always keeps asking me, oh, Sylva, do you have enough work? And I always think, oh my God, yes, I do. Yes, sometimes I wished I had less work. But whenever that happened, I did not turn down jobs, but I looked for help, and I looked for people who can actually help me fulfill those jobs. And I know what you're thinking. Most of you will think, I can't do that as a freelancer. You can. Yeah, you absolutely can. You just have to tell your clients. You have to communicate it openly. Yeah, always be open and know what you want. Yeah, this is actually the whole deal. Yeah. Yeah, when I say we translate for 59 of the top 100, here it was 57, now it's 59. This is advertising. Yeah, just try to find something special about your services. Maybe you have translated for the biggest football game in the world, or you have, I'm sure that each of you has some kind of superlative you can use in your advertising. You just don't have to be shy about it, yeah, and you have to boast it out, yeah, without being not being modest, yeah, but business has to do with playing it big and saying, hey, I'm here, look at me and trust me, yeah. So I found this, and it's the Interbrand study, which comes out like once a year, and I've circled in orange all the brands we have worked for in those past 24 years. Of course, not directly, yeah, not all of them directly, but via various agencies, we have been in touch with most of those really cool brands, which is for me has always been one of the biggest motivation to want to be a translator, because you can say we are the ones who translated the annual report for yeah, this and that big brand. Again, I can hear what you think. Most of you will say, but I can't do that, yeah, because of confidentiality agreements. You can't, I'm not actually naming them, and I'm not saying I translated this and that for Adidas or for Google or whatever, for this and that company. And the funny thing is, often we get texts for the same end client by various and different agencies, yeah? So with some agencies, I do have a non-disclosure agreement that I'm not allowed to talk about their clients. With others, I don't have such kind of an agreement, so I can talk about that, yeah? And it's all a question of that you are not too precise and that you don't give away any secrets. You're not allowed to give away. But in advertising, there are always ways to wrap it up nicely, yeah, so that it sounds good. Like the one, this is from our brochure that I did a couple of years ago. Yeah, we had very colorful things in there. And for example, what I did, I just added up all the words we translate in 1 year. And this is really interesting, yeah? So because we are more than one translator in our team, I can say that we translate 3 million words per year with a network of 300 translators, 30 translators for 300 happy clients worldwide, yeah? Maybe it's 2.7 million, yeah? Maybe it's 32 translators, and maybe it's 320 happy clients worldwide. But this is for the sake of advertising that I'm saying, okay, let's play a little game, and let's say 3, 30, 300, yeah, 3 million. No, but everybody knows, yeah, it's marketing, yeah? Nobody will ask me to prove whether it's really 3 million, but I can say full of confidence that it is circa, yeah, about that number. And this is something I can prove. Yeah. Okay, so what has happened? Some of you, I think those of you who have read the emails I sent out will have read that I don't do translation only. And the funny thing is that from being a translator, I have always grasped all the opportunities that came along the way, or came along my way. And one of the most important questions in my life is, why not? So if someone asked me, can you help me write the text, or can you help me write the copy for a website? I never said, oh no, I'm just a translator, I can't do that. I always thought, can I do this? And if the answer was yes, then I did it, yeah? And this way, me and my business, we have developed from a freelance translator to a translation agency when I started employing my first employees, yeah? And then people started asking exactly that question. They said, well, if you translate that, now it was the other way around. I asked that question. I got texts for translation and I read them, and I was supposed to translate them at that time from German into English, yeah? And I said, well, you know what? This text is no good in German, yeah? I would like to polish it up in German first and to write a proper copy before we translate it. Yeah. And this way I became a copywriter. Yeah. I mean, I had studied languages. Yeah. I had studied English and German at university. So I was, yeah, I think I'm a pretty good writer. And so I just put this skill to use. Yeah. And so suddenly I was a copywriter. And then things developed in that way that I was thinking, well, now you have written the text. I would actually love to offer the graphic design to go with it, because I had a full picture and a full image in my head what the end result could look like. Yeah. And then I started working together or teaming up with a graphic designer. And suddenly I had an advertising agency. So our team grew bigger and bigger and bigger, and we needed a bigger office. And because I've always been a fan of old houses, and where I live in the east of Germany, at that time, old houses were really cheap. We bought an old villa, yeah, like a historic manor house. And we renovated it and put lots of love in it. And I'm lucky enough to have a husband who loves building houses. So we renovated it. We ended up with a beautiful building, a beautiful office. And people came here and started asking, well, it's so beautiful in here. Can we get married here? And actually, the answer would have been, no, you can't. It's my office. But this is where my why not came in. And I said, well, why not? If people are asking if they can get married here, yes, they can. Yeah. And this is actually how it started. That nowadays we have about 100 weddings, 100 weddings here in our office, actually. Yeah. And it all comes together. Yeah. So to me, it's not like separate, but it all comes from myself. Yeah. It all developed out of myself. And this is actually my big message to all of you, that each of you has such a unique combination of skills and things that you can do. And being a translator and using your language for business is maybe one part of the puzzle. Yeah. But if you really ask yourself, what else is in there? Maybe like sleeping inside you. Yeah. And if you let it all out, and if you ask yourself, what else would I love to do? And how can I combine it with my language skills? I'm absolutely sure that there will be something very unique waiting for you. And if you go for that, it's going to be bombastic. Yeah. So this is actually my big message to you, because I can only, from my own life and from many other lives I have transformed in my life in the last years, because I have, succeeded in making people see their unique skills and the unique combination of skills that they have. Yeah. So actually, you can't find this in any book, in any career advisor. You can find a job like mine saying, she has a villa and she has an advertising agency and a translation agency, and she has her own product line of wooden angels. Yeah, what you see in the middle here. This is an old family tradition that I revived, and which also is part of my business, but it's all me. Yeah. And so the big question is maybe that one question you can take with you into the night: what's all you? Yeah. What is there in you? And maybe sleeping inside you and waiting to be awakened. And I would love to hear the answers. Yeah. Okay. So as you see, translation is definitely a wonderful thing to do, but for most of us, it's not the only thing that we love. Yeah. And if you find that combination, you can really play it big. Yeah. So I mean, my story, it has been like also in the media, well, also around the world. So I was even like featured by BBC and by GQ magazine and by lots of German TV stations and magazines and whatever, because they all love this kind of stories. Yeah. But it's a story that I have written myself, or my life has written for me. I have just like surrendered to what came along my way. Yeah. And we've been featured in magazines, and I've been the cover girl on a German business magazine and everything. And on the big picture here, you see my team with all the children it's a couple of years ago. But I've always had a team of young women with lots of children. So at one point we were like 8 women with 24 children in total, and it always worked. Yeah, so we've always tried to make life and work like tie in together as greatly as possible. Yeah. Okay. I also fulfilled my dream of translating a book. This has always been my, one of the biggest dream of mine. And it was for a couple of minutes. It was on ranked #1 in the top 100 on Amazon in the horror section, but it doesn't matter. Yeah. Okay. Yes. So how did we get there? And I think this is an answer that would work for all of you. It wasn't just that one simple email that I sent out in August 2002. There was, of course, hard work. There was perfectionism. Yeah, there was authentic marketing. There has always been a strong will to learn. Yeah. Not only CAT tools, but also recently online marketing and sending out emails to people and setting up Zoom meetings and how to record them and how to cut videos. Yeah, and how to use AI tools so that it's learning never stops. Yeah, and there is never an end to development. And this is actually one of the best things and the most beautiful things about business, that you can always grow and grow and grow, not only in terms of numbers and turnover, but especially in terms of learnings and like inside growth, inner growth to develop. That's what it's all about. Of course, there have been tears sometimes. Yeah, I mean, what I cried about customers, but that's years ago. Yeah, so even if you feel like, oh yes, I do this from time to time. Sometimes I cry if a customer writes me a nasty email. I don't do that anymore. And there are ways to learn how to deal with that. And that's so good and so important. Yeah. So much more often than tears, there has been joy. Yeah. And there has always been a huge amount of love for what we do. And I think this is the most important thing. So if you don't love what you do, it's a waste of time. Then you should stop immediately. Yeah. Because it makes you sick, it makes you ill. And it's only good for anything in life, when you love what you do. So ask yourself this one question: do I love translating? Or do I just do it for the money? Do I do it because my mother wanted it? Do I do it because I didn't know anything else what I could study? For all those answers, I can tell you there is a better answer in your life than translation. But if you give me a full and big yes, this is what I love to do, then you are right in this profession. And I'd actually love to hear the answer. Can you just write it in the chat for those who say yes, 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 yes? Just put a yes in the chat when you say, yes, this is what I'm here for. I do love translation. Or you can also write a maybe or a no. So I'd really love to see your answers. I can see the chat exploding. Yes, 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 yes. Hell yes. Okay, yep. Oh, I love it. Yeah. Can be a puzzle. And I love puzzles. Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Yes. Yes. Yeah. You see, I love languages. Yeah. I can smell the word. That's cool. I can actually see the words in colors. And this is a strong thing if you can connect feelings with words. Yeah, absolutely. And that love for words and that love for language is actually the most important prerequisite for being a translator. All the other things you can learn, but love has to come from inside, as always. So where are they, the 10 secrets I've been promising you? Yeah, you've been very patient with me. But here we go, the 10 secrets for fully booked translators. And I'm sure you will know most of them. And I'm also sure you will have used and apply most of them. But it's always good to be remembered from time to time. And maybe there is something new in there for you as well. So, and you see, I'm not starting with secret #1. I'm starting with secret #2 because secret #1 is so big that I have kept it for later. The first secret I want to share with you is share your wins. Yeah. So why you should collect your references and openly talk about your achievements without false modesty. Yeah. false modesty, I know that this is something that is typical of so many translators, that they do great jobs, but they don't talk about it. And if you don't talk about it, nobody knows. Yeah. And I mean, this is how I went into this presentation. Yeah. I told you about the top 59 brands we translate for. I'm using this kind of information on all my communication channels. Yeah, we have a brochure where we talk about this. It's on my website. It's in my LinkedIn profile. I like to make posts about this every now and then. Yeah, I put references under emails. Yeah, so all of you who have read the emails, you will all have seen the it was testimonials from previous participants. And I am openly communicating them, yeah, because this builds trust in your clients, and it also helps you overcome imposter syndrome and actually making you aware of how good you are and how much you have achieved. And even if you have not translated for like 59 of the top 100 brands, I am 100% sure that each of you has something you are really proud of. And this is a reference you can share. Yeah, this is a win you have made in your life. So talk about it. Yeah, don't be overly shy. Secret number 3, ask for feedback, because this is the kind of praise you can then share in your references. Yeah, this is the kinds of wins you can talk about. Yeah, so ask for feedback and tell others about it. So where can you talk about it? On LinkedIn, in Instagram, in your stories. You can put it in your email signature. You can use it for email marketing. You can send out a press release if you have a really big achievement. And don't worry about the press. I mean, the local press is always interested in stories like that. Yeah. And as a translator, you have like the air of an exotic person around you. Yeah. And give it a try. Yeah. So no matter where you live, there is a local press everywhere. Yeah. And if you have a story that you would love to share, just write them an email. Give it a try. Do it tomorrow. Yeah. So this is the kind of quick wins I would love you to take away from this evening, that you have 2 or 3 things where you say, okay, I'm going to do that tomorrow. Yeah. I'm going to send out an email to like 1,000 agencies. I will Google list of translation agencies, directory, whatever. Yeah. I will send out a press release. I will pimp up my LinkedIn profile. There are so many things you can do tomorrow to really boost your growth. Yeah. This is what we're here for tonight. Okay. So I'm using those references also in this brochure I've been showing you, and on the web and everywhere. Yeah. And you know, it's also so beautiful for yourselves. Yeah. To read something like, I'm so happy with your translation and extremely satisfied with your work in general. I mean, yeah, this is like red wine flowing down my throat. Yeah. And do this. Ask your clients actively, proactively for their feedback and if they liked what you do or what you did. And a positive side effect of this is, this is secret number, I don't know, 6 or 7, that you build a personal relationship with your project managers. Yeah. So if you're actively engaging with them, they will like you because this is what being a human is all about. Yeah. Secret number 4, know what makes you unique. So it is so important to find your golden core and discover what makes you stand out. Yeah. This is basically what I've talked about before when I talked about my unique combination of, advertising agency, translation agency, wedding location, and wooden angels, which is really unique in the world. Yeah. And if you know what makes you unique, then the world is open to you and success is for sure, because this is what you're here for, really, believe me. So I can hear you asking, how can I find out? Yeah, what makes me unique? Because to me, it's one of the easiest things in the world to see this in other people. Maybe it's a natural gift of mine, but it takes me like 5 minutes and I could tell you what's the right combination for you. Yeah. But for myself, it's always a bit more difficult. It's taken me like 10 years, yeah, to find out. And I'm still searching and looking. But there are some guidelines, some questions that help you on the way, yeah? So you can ask yourself, for example, what is it that you enjoy most? Yeah, because there is one big rule in life. Always do what you love most, what you love best. Ask yourself why you are doing this. Yeah. So why do you want to be a translator? There is like a bigger purpose behind the whole thing. Yeah. You are not just translating because you like typing words in your computer. Yeah. Maybe you can share your whys in the chat, because I'd really love to read your why, because staying true to your why is actually the one big thing that makes you happy. Yeah. If you work against your why, you won't be very successful. Yeah. So why do you want to translate? What is your inner engine, yeah, that propels you forward every day to do this? To me, it was like I wanted to tell stories. I wanted to share the beautiful stories that I was delighted to read with other people in other languages. Yeah, this is why I'm doing this. It's intellectually stimulating. I want to communicate. You want to help people achieve their goals. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, to help people understand each other. Yeah, you know, this is a bigger purpose. Yeah, a deeper thing than just I want to earn money. Yeah, and of course, I think we can all admit that, of course, we also want to earn money with that. Yes, we do. But if it's only for the money, then it will always be like mediocre. Yeah, it will never be like the big thing that comes straight from your heart. And so ask your heart, yeah, why are you doing this? And maybe this is not a question you can answer within 2 minutes now, but take it with you. Take this question with you, why you are doing this. And the answer will be a very good guideline for your future success. Yeah. Another very good question that I love asking when I work more intensely with people than in 93 minutes now. What did you want to become when you were a child? Because this usually has all the answers. Yeah. So I'm telling you my wishes when I was a child. I wanted to become a teacher. I wanted to become an author, and I wanted to become a bricklayer. And this is actually, it sounds very odd and like I hadn't achieved it. But if you analyze your wishes, what you wanted to become as a child, you don't have to be too rational. Yeah. So when I said I want to become a bricklayer, I didn't say that because I love like putting brick on brick on brick. But I wanted to become a bricklayer because I love old houses. And remember what I just told you. I live in the most wonderful old house you can imagine. Yeah. And I have a husband who loves to build houses. Yeah. So in a way, I have fulfilled my childhood dream of creating beautiful spaces, beautiful rooms, beautiful houses, and to fill them with life in a very unique way. And I have become an author, so I am writing. Yeah. And I also became a teacher. Yeah, I used to work as a teacher at school, but then I quit, became a translator, and the whole other story started. But now I have come back to offering mentoring, coaching. So I am working with people, not with children, but I am teaching people how to do things. So, you know, I have fulfilled all my childhood wishes, but in a bit different way. And it's interesting. Does any of you have quite an interesting profession? A ballerina? Yes, a ballerina is beautiful. This is wonderful. Well, a jeweler, ballerina. Well, so I mean, my quick answer here would actually be as a translator. Yeah, if you specialize in these areas that are very close to your heart, you can really excel. Yeah. And the more narrow your niche is, yeah. So if this is really something you have, your heart burns for, yeah, like dance, yeah, for the one who said I want to be a ballerina, yeah, you know, then if you say I'm specializing in dancing or in jewelry, or Sylvia, yeah, I think Sylvia Martinelli, she's among us tonight. She told me that she loves sailing, yeah. And I don't know, Sylvia, how successful it has been for you, that you said, I specialize in sailing translations, yeah, because this is something I truly and really enjoy. Yeah. So as a translator, you have all the chances in the world to really specialize in what you love doing. Yeah. And the more you specialize, the higher you can raise your rates. Okay. And then, yeah, ask your clients. That's another important point. If you want to find out what makes you unique, yeah, ask them. Ask your friends. No, don't ask your friends. Because asking your friends is always dangerous, because they are not your business partners. Yeah, they always mean good for you, but they can't judge your business environment. Yeah, but you can ask your clients you have worked with, and I'm sure each of you has a couple of clients you have worked with for quite a long time and who also like you. So openly ask them that question: why do you enjoy working with me? Yeah, what makes me special in your eyes? And you will be astonished and astounded and enthralled what they are telling you. And write it down. Write it down. Yeah? Because this is the basis for your marketing. You can use those quotes, testimonials. Yeah, it's wonderful for yourself if others tell you how great you are. Sometimes you have to ask them. Okay, be reliable. Yeah, I think this is not a secret. Yeah, this is one of the absolute basics. Yeah, for anyone who works in translation. But now I'm speaking as the owner of a translation agency. Yeah, working with other freelance translators who deliver their jobs to me. And there is nothing worse than if you have promised your client that you will deliver the job at 12, you've told your translator to deliver at 11. Yeah, so you give like 1 hour room. Yeah, and then it's 3 o'clock and you haven't received anything. And maybe you all say, this has never happened to me, but believe me, it happens like, I don't know, once a month. Yeah, with translators, especially with ones you have not worked with before. And from the perspective of a translation agency, of course, if a translator delivers late without letting me know, over. Yeah, I will never choose them again. Never. Yeah. So to make sure that once you've won this client, that they stay and stick with you, make sure you always deliver on time. Yeah. 100%, no matter what happens. Yeah. And if something happens, be open about it, communicate it. Yeah. I mean, I have had translators who worked for me and who did not deliver. And later on, they told me their cat died. Yes. It is sad. Yeah. I do understand. Yeah. But they could have told me like 3 hours before delivery, and then I would have had the chance to find someone else. Yeah. But to tell me 3 days later I couldn't deliver because my cat died. No. Yeah. This doesn't work. Yeah. So always communicate really, really openly. And project managers will always appreciate that. Yeah. Stick to your deadlines, always. Even better, deliver 1 hour early. Yeah. So if you wanted to make a project manager really happy, yeah, you deliver early. This is, yeah, puts a big smile on our faces. Yeah. The same goes for answering inquiries. Yeah. This is actually, yeah, the number one thing if you really want to get jobs. Yeah. The jobs are usually gone within, I don't know, 30 minutes, 1 hour. And if I don't get a reply, I will ask the next one. And if you reply quickly, you have a good chance to get the job. Yeah, and you can also be the shining or the knight in shining armor in the holiday season, because this is when most regular translators the agencies work with, when they are on holiday. Yeah, like in July and August or in December. It's always a good idea, if you want to get your foot into a new door, to offer your services like in June and in November, and saying, I will be available over the holiday season. I also put here, don't worry, you needn't do this forever, for a maximum of 5 years, until you've got your foot down or into the door as a regular translator, and then you will get all the jobs. And then you can say, okay, I will take 3 weeks off in July. Yeah, but for a start, this is a good time to get your foot in the door. And if you then fulfill your promises and are a reliable translator, they will always stick with you. Accuracy. Yeah, sounds so simple, but you would not believe how many mistakes we sometimes detect in translations which are delivered as the final version. And this is also one of the big things that can make you stand out over AI, and because AI is always correct, yeah. But you can, if you combine that correctness with your human creativity, you can really beat it, yeah. And just a few little tips. They are so simple, but I'm telling this to any new translator who starts working with me. Names and numbers, always copy and paste. Never type them into your keyboard, because the potential for failure is just too great. Yeah. Always run the spell check. Always read your text twice. It's so simple, but you wouldn't believe how many translators are not doing that. Yeah. And if time and budget permits, compare source text and target text, yeah, which is of course actually an additional service, which is editing, yeah, and you should get paid for that. So you can't do this for a 7 cents per word job, but if you get like 12 cents per word or 14, you can add little extra service and say it is including editing, or editing included. Yeah, and it is even better if you have like the 4I principle, if you don't do it on your own, but if you have a little network of fellow translators who you can share your editing work with. Yeah, so this is actually a very important tip, and a first step towards growth. Yeah, and a first step towards building a little team. Yeah. And all those things I've just talked about also have to do with ownership. Yeah, you should make every project your own baby. Yeah, do everything to make it shine. Yeah, take full accountability for everything you deliver. When you have questions, do ask, but don't overdo it. So this is a fine line. Yeah. So as a project manager, I'm sometimes a bit unnerved by too many questions, because I expect a certain ability to make a decision by my translators. Yeah. But what I really appreciate, if they approach me with anything they noticed that's maybe wrong in the source text. Yeah. So the classic mistake is they're giving you the presentation from last year and it still says in April 2023. If you realize something like that, always don't just put 24 there, but let them know, because you can rest assured that this is not the only occasion where they're using this text, and they will be very grateful for you or to you if you mentioned it to them, so they are aware of that. Yeah. Or when you have ideas or things you would like to mention, for example, product names that sound weird in your language, do let them know. Yeah. So I have had this a couple of times during my career. For example, we had to translate copy for a tot seat, yeah, for a car seat for children. And tot is a nice word in English, like a little boy or girl, like toddling around. But in Germany, tot means dead, and nobody wants to put their child in a dead seat. Yeah, and the sad thing here is that I mentioned it to the client, but they didn't hear me, and they used that name. The product was not successful on the German market. No wonder, but I tried my best and I did what I could do as a translator. Yeah. So always point things out if you notice them. Yeah. Secret number 8 is personal relations. It's always good to make the project managers your best friends. Yeah. And you can do this by little things like asking tiny questions. How's your day been? Tell them a little personal story, not too long. Yeah, tell about your day. Tell them you like this job. I think this is most important. If you receive a job which is exactly up your street and which you would love to do more of, let them know. Tell them. Yeah, tell them how much you enjoyed working on this text. Ask them for feedback. Yeah, appreciate their input. Say thank you to them for sending you this job. Yeah. And it's like being in a chat with them. Yeah. So not just accepting the job and sending it back, but when you send it back and you enjoyed it, say, thanks for sending this along. We truly enjoyed working on it. If you have more of that, just send it along and we'll be happy to do it as quickly as we can. My availability for next week is Monday and Tuesday. I still have capacity. You know, like you foster the relationship and you proactively ask for more without being pushy. And this is the way it works. Like when you're talking with a friend, yeah, this is what makes also life nice for you on your side. Yeah. And the result has been that many project managers have taken us with them when they went to a new agency. And this way, our network of clients has grown and grown and grown. Yeah, because once you know a project manager and they go to a different agency, you have a new agency client. Okay, and now comes secret number 1, which has still been missing. And this is your mother tongue rules. Your mother tongue rules. This is it. It sounds so simple, but still, I always meet translators who have not really grasped the value of their mother tongue. Yeah, your native language is your strongest asset, and we so often underrate this precious gem. Just imagine the people who want to use your services. Yeah, like for example, I am a German and I translate from English into German. So German is my greatest asset because it is really valuable for my English clients. For all my fellow Germans, it is nothing special at all. Yeah, but for my clients, it means the world to them that I can speak German and understand English and translate their English into my German. And this is, you can't value this highly enough and often enough because translating into your mother tongue, I would say, is the only way to translate on a professional level. I know there are translators also among us who have a very, very, very high level of, also of a second language because they have lived in that country for 50 years. But generally speaking, your mother tongue is your biggest specialization that you have. Yeah. And this is why many translators, they are so proud of the foreign language they speak that they concentrate on the foreign language. Like for me, of course, I love reading books in English. I love speaking English with other people. Yeah. But for my profession, it is as important, if not more important, that my German is absolutely flawless and perfect and creative, and that I really excel in my native language. Yeah. So that's why it's so important to cultivate your language skills. And one of the best ways for me to do that is to read. Yeah. Always have your antennas out for new developments also in your own language. Yeah. And make your language skills in your mother tongue absolutely perfect. And also be aware of typical mistakes and false friends. Yeah. For example, in German, we have the beautiful word handy, like the mobile phone. In German, we call it handy. Yeah. And handy, of course, sounds as if it was an English word, which has the effect that all my English friends living in Germany, they all say, hey, call me on my handy. And I always say, hey, Jack or Frank, it's not called handy in English. Yeah, it's mobile phone, cell phone, whatever, but don't say handy. Yeah, but because they are so immersed in German, they have lost their feeling for their native tongue. Yeah, and as for Frank and Jack, it is okay. Yeah, because they just live here. Yeah, but if you're a translator, this is an absolute must that you are absolutely safe and secure in your mother tongue skills. Yeah. Also your writing skills. Yeah. Excel in writing naturally. Hone your writing skills. Become an expert in storytelling, in copywriting. Yeah. This is what you are good at. And you should absolutely know all the rules and stick to the rules when necessary and happily break them when you feel it's right. I think this is very important that we are not that kind of like old-fashioned rule stickers. Yeah. But when I have a good reason, especially in advertising copy or in advertising language, to put a hyphen where there actually is no hyphen allowed in German. Yeah. But if I can give a good reason for that, I do it. Yeah. Because I know the rules well enough to be able to break them. And this is true professionalism. And then in terms of sales, your mother tongue is what makes you special in the eyes of the client. What follows from this for selling your services? And I think this is really, really important to consider. Clients who are interested in your mother tongue are easier to find in your target market. For my example, I'm German. Nobody in Germany is interested in my German skills, but in my target market, in the UK, in the US, yeah, speaking German is something they pay a lot of money for. Yeah, so this means if I looked for clients in Germany, it would be really hard for me to find them. If I look for clients who need a translation into German in the UK, it's much easier. Yeah, which also means that my LinkedIn profile, my website, everything I use to communicate with my potential clients has to be in my target language. Yeah, so in English. I'm not doing the seminar in German now, yeah, because then I would have like maybe 3 of you, yeah, in this round today. Yeah. And in your home market, for me, this would be Germany. I also have clients, but they are usually interested in translations into English, yeah, which I would not offer because I'm saying my English is okay, yeah, I love the language, but translating into English, there are people who can do this even better, and these are native speakers of English. So what I do is I team up with native speakers of English and I send any translation requests that come from German into English to them. And of course, I keep a little share to me, yeah, which is absolutely fine. So I am the agency in that case, yeah, and I get actually, I get my share for passing this job on to them, but I can guarantee my client that they will get an absolutely flawless English text, even though I could have done it 89% right. But I want my clients to get at least 100%, yeah, and for that, I need the native speaker. Yeah, and in my eyes, this is really the most important takeaway. To absolutely honor your native language and to be aware of where to look for clients and to really think about what makes you special in the eyes of your clients. And this leads us to secret number 9. Yeah, work with partners. Yeah, so if people, for example, if you live in Norway and people keep coming to you and asking, can you help me with translations into English? Yes, you can. Yeah, by teaming up with native English translators. Yeah, and collaboration and especially co-creation to me are the signs of the time. Yeah, this is what our time requires. So none of us works alone. None of us. Yeah, and the more we succeed and excel in teaming up with others and with the right people, the more successful we can be all together. Yeah, so you can work with partners. For example, if you translate into your source language, yeah, for me this would be English, yeah, You can work with partners for proofreading. We had this before. If you have a partner who edits all your text, you can be quicker translating the next text while your partner edits and the other way around. And you have the 4I principle, yeah, which makes your text even better. You can work with partners for translations into other languages if clients ask you. Yeah, today I had the question of one of us here, if we sometimes have translations into Hungarian. Yes, we do. Maybe once a year, but we do. Yeah, and then I know who we can turn to. Yeah, you can also work with partners for search engine optimization specialists, or with copywriters, with technical experts, with email experts. And by working with partners, you can grow your business. This is how it started with me. Yeah, I thought, okay, if I team up with a graphic designer, I can offer the people a brochure, a website, and this way I've turned into an advertising agency. Yeah, talking about extra services. I think if you want to grow, and if you want to make yourself independent of translation agencies and the rates they tell you, yeah, if you want to make your own rates and if you want to make your own rules, it is absolutely vital that you create an offer that reflects uniquely you. Yeah. And the question to all of you is, what could that be? And before giving you the answer, I would again like to ask you to put some answers in the chat. What you could imagine to offer, or maybe what you already do offer as an extra service, which goes beyond translation. Yeah, I know that for many of you, it definitely can be copywriting. Is there anything else that participants here do? Yeah, transcreation. Yeah. Keyword seeding. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Desktop publishing. Also a very, very good point. Yeah. Copy and digital marketing. Absolutely wonderful. Content creation, web writing, transcreation, social media profiles. Yes, absolutely. The people do need this. Yeah. Okay, social media. Some clients are not very good at it. I would even dare to say most clients are not very good at social media posts, especially not in a foreign language. Yeah, yeah, cool. Proofreading, reviewing. Yeah, absolutely. So these are the classical things you can add. This is my take for it. Yeah, translations into your source language. Yeah, for me, this would be into English with native speakers as partners, proofreading, subtitling, copywriting, ghostwriting. I have written about, I don't know, 5 books in my life for people who I've become really famous with them, but they didn't write a word. It was all me. Nobody knows. Interpreting, graphic design. You don't have to be a graphic designer. Yeah, even doing Canva for social media support. Yeah. It is perfectly okay for most clients. Yeah, social media posts, market research. Yeah, what can you add? We had this before, so if you have more ideas, yeah, just keep on posting them in the chat, because I think it's really interesting for all of us what else you can do. Yeah, this is also from my brochure. So, for example, what we do is also public relations. Yeah, we do like press releases. We do market research for the German market. Yeah, so before people can actually, or companies, I mean, if a company wants a translation or a transcreation, the reason behind this is usually that they want to enter the German market, in my case. But mostly they have not really researched the German market. Yeah, so they need information beforehand. How is the sales structure here in this country? Yeah, what kind of output channels they have? Yeah, does Facebook work in Germany or doesn't it? Yeah, and you can help them find this kind of information, and for that you can charge really good rates. Yeah, because then you're not a translator which can be compared to DeepL or Google Translate. No, you are the expert for the German market or the Hungarian or Vietnamese or whatever. Yeah, so always be aware of that, how important and how good you are. And mostly it's the things that people are willing to pay us really a lot of money for, those things that are so obvious to us and that come so easily to us that we don't even see them and don't even value them. And this is actually a big mistake or a big trap, yeah, because we don't value our mother tongue qualities or our knowledge of our home market, because it is so normal and natural to us that I know Germany, yeah. But maybe to you, if you come from Vietnam or Brazil or Hungary, you probably say, well, I would love to know something about the German market. Yeah, I can tell you easily. But just because it comes easy to me does not mean that it's cheap, okay? So the easier it comes to you and the more value is in it for your client, the higher you can raise your rates. And this is something I want to make you aware of. Yeah. And this is a hard one now. So I've been preparing you for 80 minutes now. And I hope you won't take it amiss and you will still like me after that. But I wanted to write it, and I'm still and I am saying my bonus secret is stop being a translator. Not stop being a translator altogether, yeah, but stop calling yourself a translator only, because you are more, yeah. Because you're more than a translator, you're more than a linguist, and you're more than a freelancer. Yeah. You can be a copywriter, you can be an editor, you can be an interpreter, you can be an author, you can be a marketing expert, you can be a mediator, a communicator, a negotiator, you can be an agency, you can be anything. Yeah? You can be your unique combination that makes you special and unique here on this market. So you can be anything if you want to. And if you're asking, yes, I do, but how do I get there? I have a little idea that I would like to offer you, because I think from having been doing this for 3 years, I know that there are three pillars to success. If you really want to reach your goal and to go for more, if you say, I'm fully motivated now and I'd really love to make it bigger, there are the 3 pillars are marketing, mindset, and some quick wins to boost your motivation. And marketing to me always means to add a little spark of magic. I will tell you in a minute why. Then I think mindset is really, really important thing, because from working with translators, I have seen that almost all of them suffer from imposter syndrome, and I'm not good enough and I can't do that. But you are so, so good, and you don't need any other certificate or anything else in order to get started right away with what you want to do. So I have collected a couple of gold nuggets to make you shine, which I'm going to share next week with you if you want to, along with my best learnings and my best takeaways from 24 years as a marketing agency. And I know it's important for success to get some quick wins. So because changing your mindset, it's a process. And also establishing a proper marketing concept, it's also a process. But I was thinking of what is there that you can do very quickly to reap the first results and to see the success within a couple of weeks or even days. And to me, this is LinkedIn. And this is why I have added a short session on your perfect LinkedIn within 2.5 hours. I think this is what we'll need to polish up your profile and to position yourself as the expert for your market, for your niche, with your specialization, and then to actively go for it. And I mean, for tonight, this was just a free motivation to all of you. And I'm really happy about everybody who showed up and who's taking away at least one thing. One thing where you're saying, tomorrow, Sylva motivated me to do that. Then you make me happy. For those who want to take it one step further and who want to take a little, to do a little more, I have set up it's actually something I've been doing not only for translators, but with all my marketing clients. Yeah, my I've called it Magic Marketing Masterclass for Fully Booked Translators. So we'll have a 3-day power sprint with 3 workshops next week on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Same time, same place, same time on Zoom at 7 p.m. CET, with 3 quick sessions like this one, but intense ones. Yeah, and I promise you, I can really put this as a promise that after these 3 sessions, you can get started on your own. Yeah, fully motivated and fully equipped with everything you need to be fully booked by summer. So I will tell you everything you need to know for the 3 sessions. Yeah, it would be the 333 euros. We will send the link. Maybe Christine or Christine, Britta, or whoever has the link. Maybe you can post it in the chat. Yeah, would be really, really lovely. And if you want to take it further, I will add my 7-week coaching program after that. But this is just if you want to. Yeah, no obligation, nothing. So honestly. I didn't understand that. But what I wanted to show you about my magic marketing, this is why I call it magic marketing, because this is my book. This has been a dream of mine for many years, and it will come out this year in German. Maybe I find someone here who can help me translate it into English. I think there are loads of people who can help. And it's called Magic Marketing, and the title translated means sort of goosebump stories for magical marketing moments. And this is what I'm sharing in there. And I have tailored it for the needs of translators. And this is what I'm going to share in the first session next Monday, Magic Marketing for Freelance Translators. And it's lots about storytelling, because this is my favorite. Yeah. Okay. And as I said, if you want more, there will be a 7-week mentoring program starting on the 24th of April and continuing until the 19th of June. And if you want to know more about that, I know this is not a decision you take very quickly. For the bigger program, the participants from the past programs will be available for you to guide you through and to tell you what has changed for them just by actually proactively working on their career. And I can really say that for all of them, things have changed a lot. And some of them are here tonight with us. And maybe I'm going to end the presentation and maybe ask Laura or Britta, maybe to unmute yourself and show yourselves.
Hi. Hi, everybody.
Hi. Thank you very much. Sorry I was late to the party, but great to be here. Amazing stuff. And I really can stand by every word you just said. It's been a really great journey, which I've also followed. And I can definitely say it's well worth everyone's time, both now and in future. Yeah, great.
Good to see you, Rich.
Yeah.
Good to see you. Sorry, I was late to the party, fashionably late. Apologize, but yeah. I believe LinkedIn is one thing that translators, to be honest, are not that great at, but it's such a powerful tool. I literally today I got an amazing incoming request from someone in Sweden, and just you just have to pinch yourself sometimes, and everyone gets imposter syndrome, we all do. Even Justin Welch, who has 3 million people on his LinkedIn, he says he gets it. So if he gets it, we all get it.
Radio podcasts.
Time for bed. We would all like some quick.
Who is not muted? How can we find out? Time for bed. Not yet. Not quite. That's funny. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Richard. Thank you. Yeah.
One more quick thing to add. On LinkedIn, people obsess a bit about vanity metrics and how many likes you get, and it's normal because we're all on social media and we all like to get validated. But actually, the wins come from people usually who lurk. They're not the people who like every post or comment, but they watch you. They read what you put. When the time is right, they get in touch. Would you back me up on that? That's true. That's what I find. They're not the people who comment or like. They're the people who see what you do and they see the value, and then when the time is right, they pounce.
Oh, they recommend you as well. right?
Exactly.
If somebody who might need you, like, oh no, I know this girl or this guy from LinkedIn, you might be a perfect fit. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. And it does not happen immediately. So they always say LinkedIn is a marathon and not a sprint. Yeah. You need a long breath, yeah, to go. But if your offer is right, you can realize quick wins. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe Laura, you tell your story because it's such an amazing one. Yeah. So Laura came to me. She actually was one of my first real online clients, yeah, and she went like she's the rocket, really.
Oh God. Where should I start? Okay, I'm just going to introduce myself first. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Laura, and I'm originally from Germany on the other side of the country. So Sylva's in the east, I'm in the west. But right now I'm in Tenerife. And I've actually been living here for over 6 years now. And yeah, I met Sylva 2 years ago when she started doing these webinars. And I remember at the time I had just finished my master's degree in linguistics, and I was still like receiving my my grant, my student grant, which was like, I don't know, 750 euros or something. And I had my first and only translation agency client. And that was like, I don't know, 6 cents per word or something like that. So roughly 1,000 euros a month, which was, yeah, all I was earning back then. And then, yeah, then I graduated and I was like, okay, what am I going to do now with my life? I need more clients. I need to kind of turn this into a career. And call it coincidence, call it fate, I don't know, but I somehow stumbled across one of your webinars. And then I remember I was just like, so do you say flash in English? Like really positively surprised and shocked by Sylva and like her confidence. And then I remember you told us you have 4 kids, 4 businesses, still enough time to go on your daily walks and on holiday and whatnot. And I was like, okay, I need that. I want that for myself as well. And then I think you didn't have an offer back then. And so I just, yeah, it was just like a free webinar just to share all your experience with us. And then I remember I kind of just let it sink in a couple of days or weeks. And then I woke up one morning and I was like, okay, I need to taste it. And then I sent you a message on LinkedIn. It kind of goes like, hey, Sylva, I'm Laura. I attended one of your webinars. You're amazing. And you're already where I want to be. And yeah, can you teach me? And I think that's how we started working together. I ended up doing your program, which was 3 months. And I learned so much. Oh my God. Like we learned obviously all the obvious stuff like positioning and pricing and all the different clients and stuff. I remember I didn't even know that you could have direct clients, even though it's like very obvious, but I didn't even know where to find them, how to approach them. I remember we talked a lot about pricing, and I thought that, 20 or 25 euros an hour was solid rate, right? But yeah, probably not when you're self-employed. And then I think like the most transformative part of it was really the mindset shift that I went through, right? So we really worked on this, how to think like an entrepreneur, how to think not like an employee, and really think, okay, this is my business, this is my marketing, this is my vision, this is what I can communicate. I have an offer. And then really getting, visible and proactive on LinkedIn and all that. And yeah, I really took it seriously because I didn't really have another option. I didn't really have a plan B. And yeah, fortunately, within a couple of weeks, I actually doubled my income, which wasn't that hard considering I only had like 1,000 euros a month. But still, it was, I think, I almost tripled it. So it was like 2,500 or something. And then from there, I just grew and grew and eventually had so many different projects and clients that I think after 6 months or something, I hired a VA and then slowly started building my team. I actually expanded a little or shifted towards copywriting as well. So I did translation and copywriting and offered to help Spanish and English-speaking clients enter the German market. And yeah, I think that's all.
And that's just 2 years ago, right? Not even. We started in July 22.
I think we actually started in
September.
Yeah, when I came back from the Philippines. I was like, I'm there now.
Yes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. It's really when I
interesting.
say when you say we do it in 7 weeks, it sounds incredible, but it really works, yeah, because you focus on it for 2 or 3 months, and this makes all the difference. Yes.
And I remember, like, what really pushed me was the accountability. I knew, like, every single week I'm going to meet Sylva, and she's going to check if I did my homework, and
Teacher.
kind of to report everything I did to you, which was good because, I mean, obviously I had to, when I say mindset, I really had to get out of my comfort zone and try new things and learn a whole new way of thinking and all that. So that was definitely, like, the most valuable thing for me.
Oh, cool. What I would love to share with you, because this is what Laura just said. Here it still said the 12 weeks, but it's 7. But basically, it's about checking your positioning, checking your clients, checking which channels you use to communicate, what's your message, and what's your offer. Yeah, and that's actually what it's all about. Yeah, what do you offer your clients? And if you say I offer translations, this is like in German we say wishy-washy. Yeah, so it's nothing, and it's not nothing. But if you give them a concrete benefit, and the question always is, what's in it for them? Yeah, why do they want to book you? And as soon as you have formulated this, then it's all a question of how to get this out to whom, on which channel. And that's marketing, yeah. And maybe that's the unique combination that I can fulfill because I'm a translation agency and a marketing agency, yeah. And this is what really gives me good goosebumps to put this all together, yeah. So this is what we did with Laura and with the others, and yeah, what really pushed them, yeah. Richard, I think you need to add something, or Laura?
No, just one final comment. I remember you always kept saying, translation isn't, or it doesn't sound sexy if you say I'm a translator. Like, nobody wants to book a translator. They want to book a transformation. They want to book 80 million clients, or, you know, an audience, a bigger audience.
Yeah, they want to book success in Italy, or a new market share in Hungary, or yeah, this is what they want. Yeah, and yeah.
Sylva, can I add something?
Yeah, sure.
I agree with everything you said, 110%. I think people want outcomes. They don't want words. They don't want to talk about language and translation. They want to talk about outcomes. What can you make happen in their life? What doors can you open for them with your work and talent? The other thing that I always think for many years is that translation wasn't always it's not that social a job, because people back in the day, you know, back at home, you get your PC, you answer emails, you make money just sitting in a chair. But as we know these days, it's not enough. You have to be good at handling people. You have to be these intangibles, you know, these kind of tiny things. People make decisions in seconds based on their impressions. We're all like that. We're all human. So I would say it's very important to do work and, you know, be good at your job, but also outside of work, have a full life, have a very active life, mix with people who aren't translators, go out of the translation bubble, mix with other people, because then you develop your people skills, but you also have plenty of word of mouth opportunities, and you have more confidence, and you have more things to talk about, because you can say, you know, I went to a hydrogen conference last year. I'm not like an energy specialist, but I know there are going to be people there who need people like us. So you have to kind of have this mindset. Don't just stay in your language zone, in your translation. Go out and, you know, meet the real world. Yeah.
Like, I met Richard 2 weeks ago in Munich. Yeah, I mean, we only know each other from LinkedIn and from the translators bubble. But Richard, he really managed to set up a beautiful meeting with a Japanese guy and another English football lover, sports journalist.
For Bayern Munich football journalist. Yeah.
Yeah. And we had a wonderful lunch, and this was live. Yeah.
It was humbling, because I had this guy who worked for Bayern Munich for like 15 years, and this guy who works for Hankyu, this Japanese company, Japanese expat. We had Sylva, a magical marketer. And I thought to myself, this is just a kind of 5-minute LinkedIn message to get people together. And it's like, I'm not, you know, I can do it. Everyone else can do it. It's like, you look inside your network, people like to be introduced to other people. This is also something you can do. When you're on LinkedIn, you have people you think, person A would like to meet person B. Why don't we just do that? And that's something which I think is real adding value, because they wouldn't meet each other without you. And if you can do that, they'll remember it, and they will, it will come back to you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you, Richard. I don't know, Christina, you just introduced yourself in the chat. Do you want to say something? This is really interesting because this morning we chatted to Christina. She was still in Belfast and now she's in Norway. This is what modern life makes possible.
Hello. I don't know if you can hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, yes, I've been traveling all day, so I got here a bit late. My train was delayed, which wasn't a lot of fun. But yeah, I'm an English to Norwegian translator. I started out actually about 4 years ago. No, five, it's 5 years now. And yeah, like Laura, I found Sylva through this webinar only just last year, and I decided at that point, I was at like a point in my thing where I wasn't sure if it's what I want for a while. It's been handy for me to sort of like move around, but I'm planning to move back to Norway, and I just was not sure if this was possible for me. My internet connection is not very stable.
It's okay.
Okay, sorry. And so I decided, I went to this webinar last year, and I also got very, very inspired by everything she said and about how it was possible to get fully booked. And I decided to try joining the program. And I think the point, like last year, I was at the point where I wasn't sure if this was for me, because like I wasn't earning a lot, I wasn't earning enough, and I was very stressed constantly, and yeah, I just wasn't sure. And now different points, I have a lot of, and and I'm much happier. Like I'm actually feeling I'm connecting more with people. I was very lonely last year. I felt like I was just sitting in my room in my home, just on my own, whereas now I am collaborating with people. I'm having meetings, I talk to clients, I talk to other translators and all those things. So it just goes to say that if you actually like make the decision to try something new, then and give it a shot, I think everything is possible.
Yeah, I think a very important point is to make that decision. Yeah, so no matter how, so you don't have to take the big program. I mean, you can also take the takeaways from today and say, tomorrow I'm going to start. Yeah,
exactly. I think I just used a lot of what I learned. I just didn't realize how much there was to being a freelance translator other than translating.
Yeah, and it's so much fun. Yeah, all the other things as well. Yeah, you're actually limiting yourself if you. Sometimes I say, imagine you were a dentist and you had to look into mouths for all your life. I mean, this would be so boring to me. Yeah. So, I mean, as much as I love language, but there are so many other things in life that you can do. And ideally, you can combine it. Yeah. So to all of those who are still on here today, now, I would really love to see your faces. So if you dare to switch on your videos, I'd really love to see you. Because I mean, we could listen to Britta, what she has to say, if you want to, but also if you want to connect, I mean, you can connect to me on my LinkedIn. You will maybe one, have you prepared that maybe one of you could post my LinkedIn profile into the chat? That would be very cool. And what would be really, really nice if you, or one idea to get started, or what you can do tomorrow, just make a little post about what we did tonight, and what inspired you. And only by posting this, you make a little commitment, of becoming visible, of posting, of talking to other people, of getting out of your bubble. And this would be something, that would make me really happy if we had some posts about this tomorrow, and connecting to each other and linking. This is how the network works. Yeah. And we also have a group on LinkedIn. It's called Fully Booked Translators. And if you join this, this is where some like internal information also happens. Yeah. And it's so good to see you. I like this much more than the black boxes that I had here before. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Britta, thank you for posting this. Rather long for some reason.
Yeah. But it's the right one. So.
Okay. Yeah, just you tell us your story.
My story?
Yeah. Just
the short one or the long one?
Ask the audience.
The long one.
Yeah, so I was, gosh, I suppose it's 2 years, coming 2 years ago, I was in the webinar that Sylva and Rich kind of set up together, I believe at the time. I was really quite new to LinkedIn. I've been a freelance translator about 3 years. I was doing admin for years and years and years before that, but I'm bilingual, and I'd always kind of meddled a little bit with languages, but never really as a career, but wanted to. And I'd been studying languages and got my BA, and then decided I was going on to translation masters, but didn't really feel all that confident in calling myself a translator because I didn't have the professional translation experience. And so I had joined the seminar and then started networking a little bit on LinkedIn, but as Rich mentioned earlier, the whole imposter syndrome and everything, you just sort of don't feel that you're there with the rest of them, and didn't really know anyone, and how do I sell myself and all that sort of stuff. And so I started connecting a little bit on LinkedIn, and then that helped build my confidence a little bit more. And I mean, I was already working, but for not very much, and I don't know, it was just all a little bit, and it was a bit lonely. And then I signed up to Sylva's program last year, as some of you know already, and along with well, after Laura and Sylva obviously did their program for the first time together, so I was in the first kind of intake of the coaching program, and actually had a chat with Laura about it, because Laura offered the discovery call at the time and pretty much convinced me immediately. We just sort of hit it off, and it just really, more than anything for me personally, it boosted my confidence to be amongst other professionals who were kind of feeling similar to how I was feeling, and then getting Sylva's input on, selling yourself and believing in yourself, and knowing what your kind of time is worth in the industry. That was a big thing to me, because I was probably really underselling myself, but didn't realize it, because people don't really talk about the money aspect very openly, I find. So that was a big game changer for me from quite early on, that I sort of felt, okay, no, I shouldn't be expected to work for peanuts, basically. And just being as part of a group that was coming together consistently every week, and building the relationships and bouncing things off each other, and then again, obviously getting Sylva's input on what to do and how to make LinkedIn work for you, and all these kind of strategies. Yeah, to me, it's been a big changing thing. And I have to say, I'm not in it to be a full-time mega bucks professional. I want my freedom. And like Christina, I live in Northern Ireland with my English husband, but I'm German by birth, but I haven't lived in Germany since my teens. but my family are still there. So I want the flexibility and the freedom. And I am now in a position, I split my time between Germany and Northern Ireland, and I work where I want to be. And yeah.
Wonderful. Oh, thanks for sharing this. And with you, I find it so interesting that that's what I was saying, that each of us has their unique combination, which is just right for them. And can I tell that with your beach house? Is it okay? Because it's part of your story. Yeah? I mean, just from Britta's story. I mean, she lives in Northern Ireland near the beach, and it had always been her dream to buy a beach house. Yeah, and this came. The decision had to be made just during the time of our course. Yeah, and we all said, "Hey, Britta, do it." Yeah, and now it's part of also of your income construction. Yeah, so that you say, I mean.
Yeah, it's not yet, but it's, and I mean, it's it'll be a little hideaway thing and a little tourist kind of rental when it's finished. But at the minute, we're just enjoying getting down there, and my husband's doing a bit of work, and I'll take my laptop and I sit in the living room, but I'm looking at the sea when I look out, as opposed to, yeah.
But this is your unique combination. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing your story. Yeah.
Oh, no, thank you. It's been lovely having you all behind me as this was all happening. And I probably wouldn't have had the confidence, quite honestly, without having my little mentoring peer group behind me. I'm not talking about what in my private life, but what's been happening with work and things. It's been a big influence in where I've been going professionally, definitely. So
I wasn't aware of how important this is, especially for translators, but I think the job of a translator is potentially quite a lonely one. And some of us they like the solitude, but not always. Yeah. And it is nice to get out of our shell from time to time. I mean, I have never been the shelly, lonesome translator, but I would never have expected how important it is to so many of you to get this kind of network and to get this kind of like trusted space, yeah, where you can exchange your ideas and also talk about your fears and your worries and about earning nothing for a whole month, yeah. But the mental support you get in that group, it's just it was also a growth booster for me as well, yeah. So even as the mentor, I mean, it's always that we all carry each other. Yeah, that's the whole point. Yeah. It just made me laugh what's his name? Hello wrote in his post that he's sitting in his van and it's all dark and he's using the last power of the battery to fuel his laptop so he can continue watching this. These are the stories I love. Okay, so I mean, this is like the end of the official presentation, and now you've heard some nice stories, which I always, I am the queen of storytelling on LinkedIn. It was also a title I just gave to myself, but it's this is what I live up to. Are there any questions from the others? Is there anything you would like to know? All of you who have been listening patiently and quietly for a bit more than 93 minutes, but my presentation was quite finished on point. I looked when it was 93 minutes, Laura was talking, so I think we were quite on point. How did you manage eventually? What do you mean? Who do you mean and what do you mean? And you can also unmute yourself and ask the question or just write it in the chat again.
Yeah, I meant, no, it was a reply to
hello. We're sitting in the dark. Yes.
Oh, right. No, I just told that my LinkedIn is hibernating mode because I ran into the wall of burnout because I've been successful as a translator for 18 years. And then since that, it's just a small market, but I live, like you said, and I work with the principal, the mother tongue principal. And I had lovely clients, and I loved working for them. And they all left because there was no budget for Dutch anymore.
Yeah.
I'm a keen tennis player, and I even lost a tennis point because, oh, well, we can do it with MemSource now, or with artificial intelligence. So I got so hurt because I'm a passionate translator, transcreator. I ran into the wall of burnout, but I'm feeling like starting again. I'm not the youngest anymore.
This doesn't matter.
I'm just worried. I'm a bit hung up about, the fact that my mother tongue is such a small language, and so it's a bit tricky. My mindset is not right anymore.
But as you said, I think the most important sentence that you've just said is, I feel like starting out again. And this is what makes the difference. Yeah. If you want to, you got the motivation, you got to go for it. And
I just love translating, communicating.
Communicating, translating, okay. But this is, what more can there be? Yeah. Or what more can be there? And I mean, we've talked about so many things today. We've talked about copywriting. We've talked about,
I do that as well.
Yeah, the question actually goes to you. What would you love to do? Yeah, translating, yes, check. But maybe there is more. Maybe there is something.
I need a bit of creativity in my translation. That's why I'm specializing in transcreation, and I always got positive feedback. But as I said, it's a small language, and I've got to change my mindset, but I'm having a hard time. I'm so jealous of my colleagues, like you, mother tongue, German, French. People are so much
bigger languages,
more proud of that language. The Dutch people are not very proud of their language. And I live in Belgium, in the French-speaking part, but here it's they always have a cousin that speaks Dutch, so it's I'm having a hard time. So that's why I put my LinkedIn profile in hibernating mode. So to have the time, just like, today, to participate in this webinar. It's very inspiring. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So
maybe yeah, absolutely. This is the like hello road. This is actually the first thing, the first step into the new world. Yeah. And
I'm so bad at selling myself, though.
They all have the same problem, isn't it?
I admire you for you being so open about how you talk about your skills and your everything you try, because I'm a person that loves to try as well. I had a career in PR before, in international PR. So then I went back to my love for translating, for text communication in another way. So that was 2002 as well, by the way. But life happens and things happen, and but I'm here to get back on track.
Yeah, and this is the first step, and this is what I love, So I mean, you got PR, you got copywriting, you got creativity, plus you got at least 3 languages like English, English, Dutch, and French,
and
German. So
steirisches Deutsch.
Very good. So put all this in one pot, and stir it, and make your individual stew out of it,
And how do I sell it?
Ask me.
I'm asking you, and I'm open to all suggestions. So I'm at the right place here tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Good. How do I sell it? This is the big question. I mean, this is not a question I can answer within the remaining 2 minutes. Yeah. Well, but there are ways, definitely, even for small languages. Yeah, like Christina, you've just listened to. I mean, she works into Norwegian, which is also a very small language. But the good thing is you can ask higher rates for that. Yeah, and you can, Christina, do you want to say a few words about translating or working into a small language like Norwegian or Dutch, where people think there are not many clients out there who want it? You have been translating games, for example, and
I think it's definitely I think it might be a bit harder to find the right clients, because again, it's not a very like German or French or whatever. But the good thing about it is that there's usually not as many translators either. And especially with the smaller languages, you do get higher rates normally. At least you should do. Like it's very, I do sometimes get, lowball. It just doesn't compare with what I get from other places. So if you do struggle to find work and you're working in a smaller language, you have a niche in many ways, and it's just about finding ways to market yourself, finding, where to find these clients, and yeah.
And maybe also offer a bit broader range of services.
Yeah, broader. I do a lot. I like, especially this year has been like, I've just tried out everything. I've done everything from like localization, quality assurance of video games, to go to reviewing glossaries for apps, to like I've just done a lot of different things, different kinds of services, all different kind of genres. I did subtitling mostly before last year, and now I don't do subtitling at all, because I found so much other things to translate. Yeah,
there are so many things out there we can all do, and as I said at the beginning, the guiding question should always be, what would you really love to do? Yeah, so not, oh, what could I do to earn some money, and I would do anything for the money. This doesn't really work. Yeah, but if you ask, as I said, ask your heart what you would love to do, and then it comes easily and it falls into place. Really, and if you have a little support and some people who catch you when you're like falling, this is actually a great combination. I mean, what I can offer to all of you, I mean, if you're considering taking part in the program, Britta and Antje, who is not here now, but Britta and Christina and Antje, they will be available for the calls until the 24th of April for the next 2 weeks, and we will be sending round emails. Yeah, so as I said, you won't get those emails forever, but for the next 2 weeks, I will be sending some more, and you will get some more information. And so you do have some time to decide yet. Next week on Monday, we are starting with our 3 workshop series with a power sprint on marketing, mindset, and LinkedIn. And if you go for that, I mean, it's 333 euros, which is, I think, a very fair price for that. Then next Wednesday, a little more than a week from today, you can really, it's like a jumping board where you can get onto if you want to. And if you're considering more, you can also book your chat with Christina or Britta or Antje and maybe Laura, if she wants to, and if she has some time. So there are options even after tonight. So it's it's all open to you. It's not that I'm letting you or leaving you behind and you go to bed and nothing happens. But if you say, I am motivated, I would love to take it to more, then there are a couple of options you can take. And I'm really happy about all the feedback that's coming in the chat, and I'm really, really, really grateful for your positive words and your this is why I love doing this. Okay, if there are no further questions, I would a little issue if you're not available. Of course, there will be recordings of anything, so even if you're not available on one of the days, you can't participate live, but you get all the recordings and everything. And another little schmankerl, as we say in German, if you book the 7-week program, the 333 thing will be included for free. But we will send you all this per email. And you see, this is also an offer that I developed because I saw there is a need for it. As Laura said beforehand, when we did this 1.5 years ago, I didn't have anything to offer her, and so she couldn't buy. And she actually urged me into this, and she said, Sylva, I want to work with you. What can you offer me? You know, and it's the same with your translation services. Yeah, people can only buy from you if you have an offer. Yeah, and sometimes it takes a little to develop this, but if you put in all the best you can give, it's easy. Yeah, and this is what, yeah, I would love to do with you if you want to, and if you say, thank you very much, the webinar was very inspirational and fine, and you can take it from there, do it. And I will be happy about every post I read in the next days. And this will be, as I said, your first step into visibility. And from there, we can go for more and make it big. So thanks to all of you. Thanks for coming here. And yeah, I enjoyed it, and I hope so did you. Bye-bye.